Hi everyone, yasas que kalos sirtata to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to teach you how to make my mama's chicken and okra. She really makes the best chicken and okra that I've ever had. In Greek, it's known as Kotopoulo me Bamies, and I came close, you guys. I literally followed her recipe to the T, but you know how it is. Your mom's and grandma's food always tastes the best. They just put some extra love in it or something, but this came pretty close, and I did share this on my stories whenever I was visiting her in New York, and my comments blew up. Everyone wanted the recipe. So here it is. Let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin with one whole chicken that's been cut up, and the skin has also been removed. I don't like to leave skin on chicken when it's not going to be nice and crispy, and this is going to be in a little bit of a sauce. So just make sure that the skin has been removed. Put the chicken in a big bowl, and you can season it with a little bit of salt and pepper on both sides. So over here in the strainer over the sink, I have 2 pounds of these baby frozen okra. I love these so much more than the fresh okra that you find at the store because they're always tender. You don't have to peel the tops off of them or clean them out or anything like that. All you have to do is pour them into a colander or a strainer. You could rinse them with a little bit of cool water just to help them thaw out, and then just make sure that they're drained really well. You can pat them dry once you're done with some paper towels, and they're ready to go. It's just so simple. You can find these in your Middle Eastern or Mediterranean specialty food store in the freezer section. Next, I'm going to prepare the onions. So my mom likes to add lots of onions to this. It adds sweetness and just so much flavor. So I have 4 onions here. I'm just going to peel them and then just slice them into rounds and set them aside. Now it's time just to put everything together. It's so simple. In a large skillet, I'm just going to add some olive oil, and in a few batches, I'm going to brown the chicken on both sides for about 4 to 5 minutes each side, or until it's nice and golden. Then go ahead and transfer the chicken to your roasting pan. You're going to need a big roasting pan for this, so take out the biggest one that you have. Maybe one that you would roast like a Thanksgiving turkey or something will do. Next, we're going to go ahead and do the onions. So it is a better idea to do the okra at this time, but I forgot. I didn't think of it, and I just went ahead and I put the onions in here with a little sprinkling of salt. Just get them to where they begin to become translucent. They're going to cook in the oven and they'll soften there. You just want to get them started over here. At this point, I have 6 garlic cloves that are grated. I'm just going to add them to my onions here and just warm them through until they're nice and fragrant. And then I'll add a 15-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. Of course, you can grate some fresh tomatoes and just add them in at this point. And just once everything begins to simmer, you can take it off of the heat and then go ahead and pour it over your chicken. So you see why I was saying to fry the okra first, because now I'll get burnt bits on my pan, but at least my oven will stay clean because as you can see, I've lined it with aluminum foil. But anyway, so in the same skillet, I should go ahead and wash it, but I don't have time. So I'm just going to add some olive oil to it. And then I'll just go ahead and pan fry the okra in a few batches, seasoning each batch with a little bit of salt. Once each batch is done, go ahead and add it to your baking pan and mix everything all up gently. Try not to break up the onions. You can season it with salt, black pepper, a little bit of oregano. I think I added the oregano to the sauce earlier. It's just a heaping teaspoon. If you don't want oregano, you can wait until the end and just garnish the whole dish with some fresh parsley. I do like to rinse the can out with a little bit of water. It also helps make a little bit of a sauce, and you don't waste any of the tomatoes that are in there. Mix everything up, and now it's ready for the oven. So the oven is preheated to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to go in and bake on the center rack uncovered for an hour and 15 minutes. You'll know that the chicken is ready. If you're going to use an instant thermometer, you can test it on a piece of chicken, and if it registers 165 degrees Fahrenheit, it's ready. But in an hour and 15 minutes, it should be done. You could go in halfway and very gently mix everything up. I try not to break up the onions because my mom leaves, like, you know, the rounds of onions. They just look so pretty once they're done. It does get a little bit messed up because I filled up this pan to the top. It was just so full, so there wasn't too much space to move everything around in. Next time I might use a bigger pot so we could get more caramelization on the okra and on the onions. It just smells amazing. Time for the taste test. I'll just show you how juicy the chicken is, but I'm gonna go in for the okra and the onions because those are my favorite. So good. They literally melt in your mouth. Perfectly seasoned. So when you go in halfway to flip everything around, you can taste a piece of okra that's all the way on top, and if it needs more seasoning, you can definitely season the food while it's baking so it gets maximum flavor. Oh my God, it's so good. It's perfectly caramelized. It's nice and sweet. I love these little okra. If you can find them, definitely use them over the fresh ones, unless you can get these fresh where you are. Where I am, I get the ones, they're usually too long and they're like cardboardy. So I try not to get those. It's almost a waste of money sometimes unless we grow them in our backyard. But these are delicious, easy to use. I think you guys are gonna love this recipe. Serve this with some toasted bread, some feta and olives, and you've got a meal that's gonna be on the table in no time. It's so easy to make as you saw me make it. It's just simple, just a few steps, but simple ingredients and everything tastes amazing. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. It's on the website, dimitrasdishes.com. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.